Hello guys. In this video we are just going to see how to set default apps in Windows 10. Sometimes you are stuck with default apps once you just want to open files, to play videos, to play audios. Once you're just going to open any file and you are just being stuck with the default app, and this is what we are just going to see, how to set default apps. To set default apps, you go to search here down on this search, or you just click here on start and you go to setting, or you just click here and type settings, and here you see there is settings app. You click here to settings app, and arriving here you see here there is apps. You go here is apps, and apps here there is an install default option features, and you click here. You just click here to go to default, and then after arriving here you go to default. You come here to the left side and you go to default apps, and you click here to see the default apps. Here there is email, there is map, there is music player, there is photo viewer, there is video player, there is web browser, and down here we will see also how to choose the default apps by file type. And here once you just want to open different emails, you'll just use email. This is by default, but you can change it. But to change it to click here, you just click in it. You click in it to see the default. This one is recommended for Windows 10, but you can change it to Chrome. Anytime you just open email, it will be opened by Chrome by default, Microsoft Edge, Outlook, or look for an app in the Microsoft Store that is able to open the email. And here there is maps. You can just change also the default. Here maps is recommended for Windows 10. Well, you can just select this one to look for an app in the App Store that is able to open any map. Here there is a music player. Here you can just change. Here you have Groove Music. You can change it to VRC. You can change it to Windows Media Player. You can just also go to Microsoft Store to see the default app, to set the app. And also you can just use Clipchamp video editor. This one is used to edit some videos and audios and even the photos. You can just here go down to photos. You can just change how the photos will be opened. You can just choose paint. You can just select paint. Here you see you have photos. You can choose paint 3D by default. You can just change it again to paint. You can just change to snip and sketch. You can just take any default app, and let me just use this one recommended. Some default apps are recommended for Windows 10, but some of them are not recommended. You can just here go to films and TV. Here sometimes we use VRC media player and Windows media player. Some use films and TV. Let me see, for example, if I have video here, you can see here I have this is a video. It is this is a video, this is a song, and let me just see this one. It's an MP4 file, and by default I had films and TV. This is how films and TV looks like, but let me change to VRC. For example, I can change this to VRC and see what's going to happen. And in time I just click to the file, it will be opened immediately in this video player that I set by default. Let me see how it is now looking like. You can see now it changed. It's now looking with it now has an icon of VLC. You can see it now has a VLC icon. You can see it here, and it's now different as it was before, and I can just change it to another app. I can just use Windows Media Player. Let me just confirm this. It's now changed. Let me go back to see. You see now how it looks like. And guys, if you have your videos that are not being played by any of the apps, don't be afraid that those videos are not going to be opened. Just choose another default player to play your videos. Once you have a video player like Windows Media Player, you can change it to VLC. Many video formats cannot be opened by Windows. Some of them cannot be opened by Windows Media Player, but can be opened by VLC Player. You can just change the default app. And here you see you have browser. You can just see you have a browser. Web browser here by default I set Chrome, Google Chrome. But here you see Microsoft Edge is recommended, but it can come that you just don't like it and you just want to use Chrome. And here you see I can change Chrome to Microsoft Edge. I can change Chrome to Cent Browser, to Internet Explorer. I can change the default app. Sometimes once you're just browsing, once you're just using websites, you see there is an Internet Explorer. You can see there is Chrome, but sometimes you are using Internet Explorer while you're just you like Google Chrome. You can just pass through these steps and change it to Google Chrome. From Internet Explorer to Google Chrome, you can change this by default. And here down there is how to choose, how you can just set up default apps by file type. Those files that we open, sometimes you just want to open them by any app, and you are just being stuck with the default app that is there. But don't think it's a hindrance, but you can just change it. You can see here there is categories of files. There is a file's name, and here there are default apps that are just going to those files are being opened by default by these apps, and you can just change. You can change if you just want to change. Maybe this is WinRAR, and you can just change to apps in the Microsoft Store, so that once you click on it, it will just go to Microsoft Store to choose a favorite or suitable app. You can go down here. All these formats are just being opened by this default. You can see, but you can choose another format, another app. So you can just go on and on, down. You can just see here there is some are being opened by Adobe Acrobat DC. You can just see here. You can just once you want to change the default app, you can change it, or you can just go on down. You can change whatever you want. Let me continue to scroll down, and here you see there are many different apps. Here you can see here there are many different apps that are set by default. You can see here there is PDX, PIC. You can see PIF. You can also see PPT for PowerPoint. You can just PDP. You can just see here there is you can just get other apps down here. Once here there is an app, here there is a choose. You can select here, look for app in the Microsoft Store, and this once you click on the file of this format, we just go there to Microsoft App Store and select its own the suitable app for it to be opened. Here you can see PPTX. You can see it is PowerPoint, PPTXML, and also there is a app that is set by default. And here down once there is no app, you can come and set. Sometimes there are files that you click on and they just and you get a message saying that there is no specific app to open this. You can just come here and set an app that is able to open this this file. And guys, I think you're just now having something having an idea of how you can change the video and how you can change the video, the files, default apps. And here it's more difficult. It's very easy to change, to set the default app. And once the default app is set, to open it, once you click on the app, once you double click on the file, it immediately opens itself in the default app. It is opened in the default app, and you can see here, for example, we have PDF, and you're familiar with this. Sometimes you open the PDF file and it opens by Chrome, Adobe, by Internet Explorer, by Mozilla, by Microsoft Edge, and here you can just change this. For example, let me go to my desktop. Here you can see here there is a file and you see it is a PDF. Once I double click on it, it immediately opened in the Adobe Acrobat. But let me change, for example, this one. Let me change it to Microsoft Edge. Here see it has changed it, and let me go back there to see. Let me just double click on it to see now it is opened by Microsoft Edge. Sometimes on your PC you have files, and once you try to open them, they are opened by a default app, and you think that that app cannot be changed. It's possible. It's very possible. You can go there and change it to another default app. And let me go back and change it to PDF. I can change it to Acrobat Leader DC, but this is let me just put again Adobe Acrobat DC, and it has changed again. And guys, you see that we can just change any default app for any file, whether it's a video file, audio file, and other different text files. You can just set any default browser. Whatever is there can be opened by a specific app, and that app must be set by default. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.